Hello YouTube, it's Kero here from Camp Zero in southeast Queensland. I won't go into too much detail. This is Bono. Come boy. Taking a little bit of a left turn in terms of videos for the next little while, and we're going into the world of computers. Now, I've brought you inside, which is something I said I wasn't going to do, but we're inside the chapel here, and in one of my workspaces, one of my many workspaces, and I've just ordered a complete new computer system, which hasn't arrived. It arrives tomorrow, and so I've sort of been in that mode for the last few days, and pulling out the occasional machine here and there that I've got, and getting them working. Basically, just getting myself into that headspace. Over the next few videos, I'm going to go through installing a computer or building a computer, piece by piece, component by component. I haven't ordered a computer, I've ordered a box full of parts, and I'll be putting those parts together inside a machine and making it work. That's how I do things for myself. And so oh, this dog is going manic. As soon as he hears me talking, he just grabs his little tennis ball and throws it at me like this. Get him. So over the next few videos you'll see a machine come together from scratch, from thin air actually, and it'll be good to go through it bit by bit. I've got a little bit of background in building computers. I've only really been doing it for about 25 years, which you might think, oh wow, 25 years, that's so much experience. It's not, because in that time I've only built about 5 computers, and the way I'm going to show you, and fortunately those machines have stayed together and gone the distance, and no real problems, you know, problems here and there, but nothing too out of the ordinary. And so a person who's built 5 computers isn't somebody who's got a hell of a lot of experience, you know. So, but what I've done, I've approached a manufacturer, or sorry, I've approached a supplier and given them a list of what I want. We had a little bit of talking back and forth as to what was going to work with what, and some components were a little bit out of date and they suggested upgrading them, and some components were not available or compatible, and so they suggested something similar, which was always a bit cheaper. But I got back to them and said, well, can we pick something that's a little bit more expensive, dearer, but is more, you know, higher end. It's not a hugely higher end computer system, but it's a gamer system, even though I don't play games, or haven't done for a long time. My main thing is music, and my main platform is Pro Tools, and fortunately what I've ended up with is some really good components built to the way that I've traditionally built music systems, DAWs, using the manufacturers, the brands and so forth, and so I'm very confident that this is going to work for me. So that's that. My workspace is just a box, like a blanket box, a trunk, and it's wide enough to house a PC going that way, and it's wide enough to house a PC going that way, so I've only got that much space, and I'm going to do the whole thing in that area, so you don't need very much. This box is mounted on rubber wheels, and the rubber wheels are sitting on carpet. And if my dog frisks around too much, he's going to get a build-up of static, aren't you, my boy? But I'm not worried about static because I do everything on top of its anti-static bags and that kind of thing, so sort of won't touch anything very much. So that's the story of where we're going in the next few videos, and I hope they come out very quickly. You know, like one a day at least would be good. And what I've got sitting behind me here is actually my mother's old computer. And what she did in the last few years was that she, I built her this computer, and she went out and bought all of these devices. She bought a scanner, she bought a slide machine for, you know, the 35mm slides that you used to get your photos back on. We've got boxes and boxes and boxes of them, eh? So she built a little, bought a little device, and I'll show you a bit of that at some stage. But this machine died, and she used the scanner also for photographs. And so before she died, everything that she had in by way of photographs, from going back to, like, I'm talking back to 1955 right through to 2010, everything was digitized. She went through everything she owned, or everything she had retained, and that was like a little legacy she left us. It was a lovely, and I got this machine and all of that data was on it, and very shortly after the machine died. So I just went straight in, pulled out the hard drive, backed the hard drive up, kept the original hard drive original. So now I've got two clones of the same data, and I only recently, like 7 years, it took me 7 years to actually get it out of the cupboard and put it on the bench and have a look. And all it turned up was, like, there was just nothing happening at all. So I pulled the cover off. There was a light on the motherboard, which was that's topical. Mother's computer, motherboard. And so I knew there was power getting to the board. So all I did was two things. I unplugged the fan, because maybe the CPU was going, but because I couldn't see the fan spinning, maybe the fan wasn't working. So dog, boy dog. Sorry, if we just went a little bit darker just then, it's because I just hit a light globe. Oh, where were we? So all it ended up to be was the little cable here, 2-strand cable that runs from the motherboard to the soft switch, the power switch at the front of the computer. I just pulled it off the header off the motherboard, pushed it back on again, bang, hit the power to the power supply, hit the switch, and suddenly I had victory, and we're back in business. So here's a computer that's been sitting in the cupboard for well over 7 years, suddenly is back into a state where it's usable again. So that's the kind of thing that goes on, and I've got about 8 computers sitting around that I haven't even got to yet. What happens is that people say that their computer has died. Never say that your device has died, because it's usually just the stupidest little thing. And just before I went from daylight into it's evening now, night, and I've got the fluorescent lights on in the chapel because it's after 7 o'clock. My dog. Where is he? Got him. Here we go. Get him. Oh. Oops. I think I hit something. What I would have said is, oh, my battery died in my camera, so I had to go and recharge the battery, and that took 2 hours. And when you say it's died, it hasn't died. You know it hasn't died. Death is a pretty serious thing. And if something can come back to life again through the talents of people like me, then nothing is ever dead until it's been declared dead. And then it's only a component of the system that has died. And you fix that and the whole system's back again. So people spend thousands and thousands of dollars. What they do is they typically come to me and they say, oh, was I wearing glasses? I wasn't wearing glasses, was I? Okay. Well, people typically come to me and say, oh, I've bought a new computer because my old computer died. Therefore, do you want my old computer because I've got no use for it? And what happens is I bring the machine into my workbench, I pull on one little wire, and the thing works again. What do? People want to buy brand new fancy computers, go for it. If that's what they want to do and they've got the money to do that, well, that's fine. Whereas I've sold off heaps of these old systems. I'd never sell this system because it belonged to my mother, but I've sold off systems to people that have lasted 5-8 years that have been given to me by somebody who couldn't be fucked getting it repaired, or the repairer has said it's fucked, it's dead, you know, so they take the computer into me but they buy a brand new system. Happens all the time, eh? All the time. I don't feel very good about it, but if people want to give me a working system that just needs a little cable pulled, well, that's fine, I'll take it. But I don't advertise it, eh? That's not what I'm about. So I guess I'm just about to wrap up here. My dog, you probably didn't see my cat came through either, but I've got to watch where I throw that thing. Baby dog, put him down. I'll put together a system for you over the next few videos, and I'll do it component by component because I do want to advertise the components as I go along. So if somebody Googles this particular CPU or this particular motherboard or this particular RAM, then it'll come up and they'll see my opinion. Not that I'm all that, you know, technical and experienced at the whole thing, but what you will see at the end of the day is a computer come together, and it will work, and it will work the way I want it to work, and it will do what I want it to do. There's no doubt about that. So if you want to come for that journey, come along please. And if you don't know some of the things that I go into, then maybe you can learn from what I've learned. But like I say, I haven't got a hell of a lot of experience in these things. So I'll shut off this video now. I'll press stop, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to start again with a rundown of what I've ordered, and we can spend the week, maybe the rest of this week, doing it bit by bit and putting it all together. It's a good thing to watch anyhow, because not everybody gets to do this. And I'll say some more things too along the way. I've always got things to say. So I'll push the button on this. There's the green light. Did you see that? Shows that the motherboard's going. I'm really chuffed that this computer worked itself out. I know you shouldn't get too attached to devices and, you know, technology and that sort of thing, but it's actually meant a lot to me because I built it, and my mother got so much fantastic use out of it and gave us all of those beautiful photographs that she went one by one through her slide collection, her photographs. She scanned all of her photographs, right through to all of her digital cameras. She owned about 4 different digital cameras, and all of those files were on here. So here I got a big activation alert. Ooh, you get that. But shut him off. Hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow with the new system, and we'll start again from there. But today I've had a win, and I'm happy with that. If you can have a win every day, then the very least you can do is have another day, because you're going to have a win that day as well. Just keep going, eh? That's my dog. I'll see you on the flip side tomorrow, and being a Monday. And thanks for your time, Facebook. Facebook? Are you Facebook? Thanks for your time, YouTube. And this will end up on Facebook anyhow, but whatever. I could sit here and chat to you all night. It's the only company I've got this evening. Eh? The room's empty, no visitors, no one's staying over for the night. The dog's getting a bit anxious, and the cat came through here before. He's a funny cat. There he goes again. I'll show you. No, missed him. Missed him. He went under the bed. Okay, thanks again. I think I've covered everything I want to, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Good night. Kiran. My Kiran. Where is he? Where is he? Sit, my boy, sit. Sit. My Kiran. There he is. I knew this would happen. Baby cat. My baby. Kiran. No, kitty. We're kidding, kitty. Kitty, baby. Oh boy, and boy. Kidding. My dog. Sit.